Do you think that he was intentionally deceptive on his first album cover? You ever see his first album cover? I think he was trying to trick everyone.
I think the first thing I saw was him, like, and him being like Post Malone. I was like, ugh, who's this guy? And then I heard the song.
Yeah, but do you know his first? You ever see his first album cover?
I think so. It's like
orange, but like it's like
that. Yeah. That was my aunt's reaction. That was the same reaction I had when I first saw Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. I'm like, he's black?
This guy everyone's been talking about is black?
Mind you,
I think he might have missed the point of why he was black in that show.
Now, I had no idea who Robert Downey Jr. I had no idea who he was because I was, younger growing up. But then I was like, wow, he pulled. I'm like, he pulled it off. I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
We're keeping that in. That's part of that. That's how we start the show, I think.
Okay.
I think that's how we start the episode.
He won.
All right, go ahead. You can hit this thing.
Drop us a beat.
And then some showcase post show. I think we'll call it. Yeah. It's like the inside the NBA. We'll go over that, which is in the sense that we'll talk about it a little bit, but we'll also talk about some other tangential stuff not related to
the price of gas, and how it's not any more expensive if you only ever put $20 in your tank.
Yes.
Have you heard that?
Yes. Yes.
Shaq trying to say like, yes, if you just put $20 in your tank every time, and
did he say that?
His claim was that if you only ever put $20 in your tank, he goes, then the price of gas doesn't matter.
That's hilarious. I actually tried that as a bit.
Really?
I absolutely tried that as a bit.
Yeah, no. If you look it up as a clip, and people are arguing, it's like, yeah, but it's getting you. Like, if you put $20 in, it's not getting you as far.
I swear to God, I did that.
Yeah.
I tried that as a bit, and I didn't think of this. And then like somebody like came up to me after the show, they're like, well, if you just, and I was like, oh, I know. I didn't have a funny enough point to counter that retort, which is the other thing. That's funny. And then some showcase post show. Yeah, we're gonna go through. So this was the March 28th, 2026 show, which we did. This is our second show we did. I feel like we've been doing these shows for like a million years, even though we've only done two. I'm like an illustrious history of the show, even though we've only done two of them.
You just gotta act like
it's going on. It's like it has
people, act like you've been there or whatever. What's the saying?
I think you're right.
It doesn't apply here though.
Yeah, but I think that the part of that I like doing about doing this post show, it kind of makes it feel like it's more important. I think that's kind of helpful to it as well.
Yeah, that gives it some gravitas.
I think so. So what you're hearing, so we have Ricky Grimes, we have C-Rxch. Should I introduce you guys? You want to introduce yourself? I don't know.
You can introduce us. I'd rather that.
Ryan on the ones that. Well, you actually know he's on the beats over here, and you're on the levels and everything else.
Yeah, he's on the ones and twos. What am I on the threes?
You're on 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the cameras and everything like that. Well, ones and twos, you're not really on the ones and twos, right? Because you're just
just my drum machine.
That's turntable. People still know that? That's what they mean by ones and twos, isn't it?
I don't know.
Input 1, input 2 on a turntable. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, turntable.
But no one knows what that means anymore, right?
2 turntables and a mic. So
I know you know what that means, but most people when they say that on podcasts, they don't know what the heck they're.
On the road, I'm on the Roadcaster.
You're on the Roadcaster.
And on the Roadcaster.
No free plugs. No free plugs. Unless you're getting anything.
This is your standard, baby. At this point.
Are you making money? Are you guys making money off this? And anyone got a?
I have a sponsorship
income.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you who weren't there, March 28th at the Neverending Story in Babylon, New York, we had a nice little event. We had, as far as I knew, like over 50 people that were there, including performers and people that were watching. It was a packed house, standing room only. And I know that we had at least 35 chairs. And then there were people that were standing outside of that. So there was a lot of people there. It was a really fun thing. The big highlight of the show is, as we mentioned in the last show, what we try to do is I try to hit the 4 quadrants: comedy, magic, poetry, and music. Trying to get all 4 of those. In the first show, I wasn't able to get magic. This time, I had a magician that was coming. And then as soon as I started loading up the show to kind of get started and everything like that, I got word from them. He was nice enough, just something came up, he couldn't make it, but I lost the magician. And so I was a little disappointed about that. I think you folks were as well. Because you don't promise a magician and then don't show up with a magician. People get disappointed. I think that's fair to say. But then when all of a sudden a gentleman walks in and I look at him and he looks familiar, and frankly, he looks like a magician. And so I said, are you here for the show? He said, yes. And I get to meet with Zach Alexander, who I knew was a magician that I had tried to pitch to come to the show. Showed up. Didn't have him on the list. Didn't have nothing. He showed up. He was there. I said, I got a magician slot to fill right now. So this is fantastic. You're going right in. And that was a good enough magic trick for me. magician
great.
disappears.
It's the
and
third
then
time I've heard you tell that joke.
appear. Well, they haven't heard it on the podcast. C-Rxch gave it a good showbiz laugh, at least.
I can't.
Jeez Louise.
You told us before the show, and then you don't say.
I did it on- and then I did it on
said, fair
stage.
enough. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
try that. That's perfect. You can't not
But
do that.
they haven't
And
heard
you're gonna
it.
come on you're gonna come on this show and now do it again.
Yeah, it's a totally new audience. I assume there's you gotta always be reintroducing yourself. I'm gonna do a lot of jokes that I did already.
Yeah. So how is it looking for? I don't want to jump ahead too much, but I am very curious because I do feel like the magician really did brighten. Like it was if there was a bit of a dip happening,
Yeah.
the magician really set that thing on fire.
There's certainly
And-
a uniqueness to the show that kind of gave it a little.
So
spark,
how
for
are we
sure.
looking for the next week? Any contact with the original magician that was supposed to? Do we trust this kid still?
Magicians, I'm not even joking, are very elusive in terms of
Yeah.
their showing up. So he said he was
They're
going to come to this show, but I have not confirmed with him yet. I did send some messages to the Zach Alexander and to the previous one. So honestly, at this point, I think I'm just going to have to see what shows up on, leave the magic spot open and see what arrives. And then
Because he offered this guy. Is he out of town? That guy? Is he an out of towner? Is he local? This guy?
which one?
The one that did show up.
Zach Alexander.
Zach Alexander.
I don't think so. I think he's a Long Island guy.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he just talked about traveling, doing comedy in Virginia, but not. I'm
I
sure
think
he
he's
travels. He travels quite a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he offered. I don't know if you remember. He offered 2 tricks.
Yes,
He
he
said,
did.
"Do you want to do like maybe a sleight of a hand,
It's like
Card trick?
card trick, or a different trick.
or do you want to do something that was dangerous?" So I would love for him to come back. I want to see the other trick.
I see the trick, yeah, and so I
Right.
think the thing with the magic, and if anyone's listening here, it's in the magic. Which is my camera? This is my camera. It was in the magic
Yeah, one pointed at
community.
you.
The magic community. We'd love to have you. So I know there's a level of magicians that are like high level, or people that do gigs for lots of money, which was good for you. This is a spot for you to try out those tricks that maybe you just learned, that you're trying something new. You want to get in front of an audience to see if it'll play. That's what we want to do, is try to have something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. Or somebody who's maybe you're just starting magic, maybe you're just trying stuff out. You're just learning, you're reading your books and everything like that, and you want to try it out in front of an audience. This is the place to go. It's a very nice audience, very receptive. They're very kind and polite.
Yeah, I wouldn't
this is the place
mind
to
if
go.
if it ends with wait shit, I fucked
That's
it up.
fine.
I'm
Great.
I'm happy to
That's
see
fine.
that too.
That's
yeah.
fine, because you know why? A lot of the other artists, mostly comedians, it happens to all the happens to
Yeah.
me. Happened to me that night. Maybe that's a good place to start. So I was preparing for the one-liner madness competition that went on in Brooklyn at the Bell House that occurred on April 1st. So I prepared a bunch of my material that were supposed to be one-liners, kind of some new, some old, some piecing some stuff together. There's a couple things that happened. One, I wasn't there in terms of my memorization. What happens to me is I'm trying to prep for the show. I'm trying to get everyone organized, I'm very not focusing on being in performance mode. And so when I get up there, sometimes I'm like making announcements, and then I'm like, oh, now I have to start hosting the show. And I didn't really, and I felt I was a little all over the place. The other thing is, it's very hot in there. I was wearing a flannel coat, and if you look at the video, which I'm not going to post any of that video because I don't think it. Well, actually, you see in the recap video, I'm like bright red. I'm sweating like crazy, which didn't necessarily help. And so none of my jokes. People thought I was losing it. Even I looked over at C-Rxch during when I was doing it. He looked at me. He went, "Calm down."
You're like, easy,
He
bro.
went easy.
That's great advice too.
and he was correct.
That's sound advice from somebody who's never even done comedy
Yeah,
before.
he knew that. What he saw was a man in panic. He said,
Yeah, I was
He
mad at
looked-
me.
yeah.
That was
his advice was less for a performer, but more for someone in deep strife. That he
Yeah,
needed
right.
To
Yeah.
lend a calm hand.
Have you ever
to.
worked in medical care before? You might be good in that field.
You know what's so funny? I actually work for a hospital too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did I resemble a man in deep stress in that instance? Oh,
You did.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think what comics do this a lot, where they make a bigger deal of it. I don't know, like you talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's struggling. You really laid it out there. I don't know that if you would have mentioned anything, I would have thought, oh, he's really struggling. But you kept talking about it, like, boy, this is rough.
Yeah.
And that,
Well, I think because I was trying to do the one-liner
yeah.
format, so I think it was easy to be like, for it, like to say a joke, stop, and then normally if you're a comic and you feel like it's not going well, you just kind of all right, and on to the next thing. But I actually couldn't even remember what I was going to say next because I was so disjointed from what I was going to be. And the audience, I would say, at our shows it's a different audience than you're going to get at a comedy club or at a bar, at a venue, at maybe a bar. Because they're not drinking, so it's not a drunk or a tipsy audience in the sense. So they may not be the most, for comics that are there, necessarily the most like raucous, like hooting and hollering audience that you're going to have. But I will tell you this: they are paying attention. They're looking right at you. They're listening, and they're very listening and being contemplative about what you're saying. So sometimes, and I think some of the comics may have felt like it was a little tight. I felt like I did bad because I personally felt like it. Not really so much the audience, but I just felt like I didn't deliver what I wanted to deliver.
Same.
But I think that's some, and you
not about
were
you,
up there
about
as
me.
well. No, that's right. But you were up there as well, and maybe you were a little bit later in the show. But even when I was there right at the top and there was a lot of people, there are people there, and I think I even talk about this at the top where I do a little joke about this where I say something like, "Who's here for the first just to watch, not a performer?" And people raise their hand, and so I had to be like, okay. See, we're already off to a bad start. Don't raise your hand. Make noise. Like be loud with your reactions. And I even did a little bit where I'm like, if it's a poet, you snap your fingers. Or it's a comedy, you laugh when they stop talking. So I did that whole bit, which I think was funny. But I think there were people there that were there there were a poet there to do poetry, and they're not used to being like effusive with laughter or reaction.
Yeah.
So for the comics that come, or the comics that were there, who I thought all did quite a good job in terms of their material, I think maybe felt like it was maybe a little bit tighter than maybe they would have expected for such a large crowd. Because when you see a crowd that size, you might think, if I'm not getting a certain level of laughter, I'm not doing well. But the comments that I got from people that were there watching were that they thought all the comics were quite good, and that everyone was really good. But did you feel that at all? Did you feel like it was maybe in terms of audiences, it can be a little bit...
I felt the first one, I felt like it was a little more, it felt obvious that everyone was supportive, audibly.
Yeah.
The second week, looking around, everybody seemed happy, but the support wasn't as audible.
Okay.
It was more visual. Like if I looked around, like, oh, everyone seems like they're really engaged and having a good time.
Yeah.
But the first week, if you just listened to it, it seemed like, oh, there's some laughter. The room was
yeah.
full. Because you had asked me at the end of that first show, do you want to go up? And I did. I feel like it was going late, and I think you had already said 2 more comics.
Okay.
So at that point, I was like, I don't want to be like, because it's people like, they were happy to ride out the rest of the show, but I feel like they're ready for it to wrap up.
Sure.
Like 2 hours is a long night. So I feel like I feel like I would like to ride. This feels like a good good thing to ride this out, but I feel like it's more important. That seems almost important. Like,
sure. But
what's more important is like ending this thing and letting everyone want to go back. And I feel like, oh, that was too long. It's more beneficial if everyone feels like that ended at the right time and come back.
Yes.
And I'll come back for that.
You may be right. You may be right about that. And I think that's probably a smarter producer show thought. But of course, it would have been fine if you in the future.
Yeah, I wasn't like I would have been. I know you would have been happy to have me, but I feel like I'm more interested in this show. Right. I'm more interested in this show continuing and being everybody coming back. Like that was good. Didn't go too long. Than I am being like, let me get my 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
So I was happy to come back, but I do feel like I might have had a better shot riding the high of the first show than I felt like the spot that I got in the second show. Yeah. I didn't feel it as much.
I did like the bit that we did. I messaged C-Rxch earlier and said I'm going to be doing some one-liners. Maybe we can do the Bernie Mac comedy.
Yeah, that was
jam. Play the beat into the Kid Capri. Play the beat in between. Maybe we'll bring that back in some variety. We'll have to chat a little bit about what we could do because I do like. I don't feel like I necessarily have to do my act every time when I'm hosting. I don't necessarily think that's what the host should be doing. The host should probably do something that's just to get the crowd ready and to get the crowd involved. So I think there's a way that we could do it involving the music and the comedy. So we'll have to.
I was talking about this the other day, and I was wondering if you would ever want to not host, or at least not open the show. You can you can maybe off mic introduce comic. That's your thing. Yeah. But if you ever wanted a deeper set, maybe we're working on something and wanted more of an honest read to a set for you. Yeah. Would you relinquish opening the show?
I certainly. I've thought about that, and I think I would. I would have to determine, and maybe we can. The more we do of these, we'll know. Am I taking the bullet for the next performer? Like, if I go up there and I don't do it, like if the crowd's getting warmed up or they're getting seated, am I opening it up for the next guy to go up to have a better set? I don't mind doing that because that's kind of the host's job.
Yeah, right.
So I wouldn't want to have to sacrifice the first person to let them try to figure it out or to let them eat it. just to get if the audience is tight, or if I'm working less on material and more to get them open up, I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, right.
But I think maybe also if we threw a music act up right up top, that might not be a bad way to start either. Like if we just jump right to a music act, I do more of
loosens things up,
instructional thing or something like that. But I think there's also a way we can maybe do a little both. So we'll have to.
And then that might be like, kind of, you got C-Rxch playing some beats.
Mm-hmm.
That fades out. Somebody's just playing that even without an introduction could get people's attention. Oh, something different is happening here. You know,
or if we get somebody who wants to rhyme over your beats or to go right into that would be fun too. If all of a sudden it kind of fades up and then here comes in, what's going on over here? Boom, 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 boom. That would be kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Kind of, and then I can always pick up after. Almost like a cold open.
If you ever do want a deeper set, I'm happy to, I used to host quite a bit.
Too.
And I'm even happy to be more playful and maybe crowd interactive.
Yeah.
As like not even do material, just maybe like talk to people. I've never really done crowd work, but it seems like a good space to do crowd work in.
Kind of get people. For the real job of crowd work, which is to get people comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's, I know it says very clearly here, hosted by Ricky Grimes. But I feel like opening the show and hosting is not the same thing.
That's
so you can host the rest of the show and introduce people. But
I think that's right. And then the other thing is that we, as you pointed to the sign, the other line underneath is "and other magnificent talent." So I'm interested in having people that can do juggling. I'd love a guy or a girl to come in and do a Rubik's cube in a fast manner.
I would love it.
If there'd be a fast, imagine C-Rxch does some beats while he's doing it. You get some up tempo beats while the guy's doing it. I think that would be amazing if we could do that. And also a hell of a music video. That would be cool.
That would be a good music video, yeah.
That would be cool. Guy doing a Rubik's cube while you're doing the beats behind him.
That'd be fun.
That would be cool. So
now we're venturing back into the last episode where we're just talking more about the show than recapping the show.
I know.
No, but I want to add something because I feel like I had asked you about getting a TV on stage.
Yes.
Behind us, which I feel like we could put the logo on for the most of the show. Then now you've got your logo baked into any clips and videos that are going to be making their way to social media. And I feel like there's space for that.
Yeah.
And all we got to do is get one of those old school TV school when they would roll the TV in.
Right.
And now they make it much thinner. And I have an extra TV. We could definitely. It's doable.
It's doable.
And I feel like then we could get filmmakers make a short film.
5
funny,
minutes. Serious.
Now we got this thing. We got you get the TV plugged into the sound system.
It's a 6-minute spot, no matter what.
6 minutes.
You can do with what you want.
Make a 5-6 minute movie. That's a talent.
I'm
want to share that?
I'm into it 100%.
Yeah, and you can vet that. You can say, send me the video. Make sure there's nothing offensive.
That's right.
in
So,
it.
like I was saying in the last episode, is that I do quite a bit of curation, not in terms of it is open. I do let people sign up and people come in there, but I do a lot of curation also in terms of as we get into the list of the performers here. I do a lot of work to try to get the order right in terms of what type of performers are going where. So it's a little bit of it's not just a list. I'm mixing stuff around. I want to make sure like we don't have too many comedians in a row. I want to make sure the poets have a good opportunity to a good platform and a good spot, things like that. So it's all thought out in that regard. Plus, we could jump into it a little bit. So after I felt like I didn't do so well, we went into the part of the show. James King came up. James King's a wonderful Long Island-based comedian, but I know he gets up all over the place. I think he does these naked comedy shows they do in the city.
Oh, he does those?
Yeah, he does those. Yeah, I actually met the guy. I met the gentleman who hosts those at the One Liner Madness. Very nice guy. And I use that.
Where do they do those? I used to be Creek in the Cave, and before that left town.
I don't know the venue that he does, but he does a really nice job of booking it and getting quality comics and people show up. And I don't know how. I would never be able to do it. But the thing is, and I talked to him about it, it's like the bit is not that the bit is almost that they're also really good comics.
Yeah, right.
Because you could do a worse show and the fact they're naked could be the bit. But like he actually books really good comics and they have good sets. You almost that's almost a joke entirely of itself. Is that and also it's really good show. That's kind of fun. But James does that, but that's not all he does. He's actually just a comedian with his clothes on as well.
He's a clothed comedian,
mostly, and he does stuff especially upstate. I know he just did some stuff up in Plattsburgh. I think it was.
Yeah, he's great. He's a very funny guy.
And what's funny is that we do 6-minute sets, or for music we do 2 to 3 songs. Is kind of how I space it. And I actually was going to give him a little bit more time to let him fix what I had thought that I had messed up with the crowd.
That's funny.
But he's such a nice guy. He actually just got off right at the exact time that he was supposed to, so it was very nice. And then Kyle Mara, another stand-up comedian. I think I think he's from Long Island, but I think he lives either in Brooklyn or Queens or something like that. He's a guy who gets up all the time. I think New York Comedy Club. He's up.
Got a special out.
Got a special out on YouTube.
On YouTube.
So Kyle Mara, Mara. Really, anytime I have to book or recommend just a quality stand-up comic, or book, I think at the show that I did
Solid
at the
joke
Holy Black,
writer.
Great joke writer, great performer. So I always have him. He's in the city, but he was in town, and a couple days, weeks prior, he had messaged me and said if he could come do it. So I was happy to have him. He's a great talent. Matthew Brennan, who we mentioned in the last episode, but I guess we could again. He is a musician, is a frontman for a band, but he was doing some spoken word, really wonderful spoken word stuff, and I think he's going to be putting out a spoken word album, a project. Album may be the wrong word, but a spoken word project.
Do you know if that? Did you ask before? Is it going to be an audience for that, or is that?
I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
No, maybe we could talk to him next thing, but. I think that'd be really cool to do it.
Like a little Bob Newhart situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what you want is if you want an audience or because by the way, he's a very brave performer and I think this comes from being a front man for rock shows. You kind of don't fear anything, but like he's getting up right after comedians to do spoken word, and he kind of like does a little bit up top because he's from Cornucopia Natural Foods, and he actually provided last time some free seltzers for everybody. I think we got more.
He's such a nice guy that the first thing he did was apologize that he didn't bring enough.
That's right. I'm the free stuff for everybody. And it's really wonderful. And you know, we don't charge anyone to come in there. The performers are a suggested $5 donation, but it's, you know, he was having free seltzers for everybody. And I liked having a non-alcoholic alternative for people to have a drink that does not, you know.
I'd love to speak from my heart about Cornucopia for a second. I mean, it's great that he does that. I mean, I used to shop there quite a bit. I feel like it's a great place, great food. Like it's, you know, if you're somebody who is a little bit maybe tired of giving money to people who you don't want to have your money,
it's 100%.
Cornucopia is worth the trip to it. If you live anywhere close by, it's almost unacceptable that you don't shop there.
Yeah.
And I wish I was a little bit closer. I feel like I would shop there more often, but I used to stop. They have a little deli thing there with pre-made salads and meals and like a full grocery store, and it's like really feels like a place you walk into and be like,
and good prices.
Hey, this is a place. I feel like it's almost like you know, a little community when you're in there.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, there's he mentioned the Whole Foods opened up very close to them, and they're kind of trying to fight off that battle. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Whole Foods is owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
And I'm a year free from shopping from Amazon.
Very nice.
Or Whole Foods.
Very nice.
So I like to support places like Cornucopia, and you should do the same.
I would agree.
Be a good person.
And he basically said that, and so much before he did his set was to say like you kind of have to be active with your participation in these places to be part of it.
You say like, oh, I love that place, and then places close, and you go, oh, I can't believe it closed. When's the last time I've been there? Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, then there's your answer.
Yeah, and then one of the things with this show, the showcase in general, and also with what I've been thinking of as an artist, is I'm trying to think about being more, and maybe C-Rxch, you can relate this, is being more local with my focus. Like even like I did like when I boost on Instagram or whatever, which again, giving money to the wrong places, but you know, that's a little bit of a deal with the devil there. But what I focus is I try to be as local as I can. I do a very small mile radius in terms of the advertising. And I feel like it's been really effective in really targeting the folks that are actually like within a couple of towns.
We appreciate you laying out the money for that. That's very nice of you.
You know, that's just trying to support. So I think it's helping in creating a platform that's a little bit more hyper local focus in terms of the artists and things like that.
I'm sorry, what's his name again?
Matt Brennan.
Matt Brennan.
Yes. Now, do you want to say the Brennan joke that you did on the?
No, I don't like to repeat jokes. I'm not one of those guys.
Very good. Very good.
I did that my first time ever on stage. Like I did my first set ever. It went really well, and I was like, "Oh, that was like," but I prepared a lot for it. Like, I memorized my whole set, and I prepared. And
you mean your first open mic or your first?
I did it in McGuire's, and it was like a. It wasn't a bringer. It was an open mic, but it was like bringer, and it was
and people were bringing
suggested,
their families,
and it was
stuff.
a packed room.
Yeah.
Because it was my first time was with like 4 other people's first time.
This was 1986.
Yeah, go Mets. So it was a packed room. Yeah. So my first show was not like some open mic at a bar where I was like, it was a full comedy show. It was like headliners were on that show
on
as
a
well.
Real stage too.
Yeah, and it was like, and it went really well. It was like I watched tape. Like it was definitely. I was nervous, and it was like
5 minutes.
5-6 minutes, yeah. So I was like, oh, that was great. So my second time up, and I've heard a lot of comics suffer this fate. I was like, I can do that. So I just went up. I was like, oh, I'll do a riff on this, and I bombed miserably.
It's crazy.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember why I brought that up.
Yeah. Because you were gonna repeat jokes.
I did all new jokes the second time. I wasn't like, oh yeah, I won't work on this joke or that joke worked and do that. I went up with a whole new set my second time on stage, which was 2
Classic
weeks.
Rookie,
I worked on that first set for months in preparation, like signing up for this, and then 2 weeks later, I was like, oh, I'll just riff a couple of other ideas. Yeah. I'm like, great. Who did I think I was?
That's great. C-Rxch on the beats, by the way.
I'm loving it. Like
fantastic.
I'm thoroughly enjoying.
It's
this
fantastic.
is like makes
Thank you.
so much more enjoyable. Oh, I wish a guest could hear, but
I know. I think that's a you problem though. You can figure that out.
There's another headphone. I just want more. Yeah.
Well, it's funny in the radio stations you could hear it, and then as soon as the mics go on, it kills the. Oh, I guess that wouldn't work because we're talking the whole time. Never mind. Repeat what I said. So the next guys that came up, Connor and Joe. So these two guys came up to me in the beginning of the show, and it was two kind of big fellas, and they came up to me and they were like, "Hey, we wanted to," because I have an Eventbrite that I make for the event where people can. It's not for the performers. If anyone's listening, I put it up. It's to reserve spots if you're coming mostly to watch. Doesn't cost anything, but it just lets me know I have to bring all the chairs. Or they have some chairs there, but I bring a lot of the chairs. So it helps me to know if I need to bring more or less chairs. So that's why I have that. Some people thought that was how they sign up. That's not how you sign up. Don't message me if you want to sign up beforehand. I'll tell you no sense. These guys signed up on Eventbrite or thing on Eventbrite. They come in, they're very nervous, but they don't look like, artsy folks, if I'm being stereotypical. They looked kind of like, some bro fellas, they looked like, one was a big, taller guy, looked like a football player almost. And so I was like,
football player from the 80s.
Okay. So
they're more in shape now. I think.
Yeah. But he was bigger than me. Taking a shot at him. Seems like a nice fella.
He was nice.
But it's important to know for what I'm about to say, which is that he was didn't look like a stereotypical musician, and so he goes, we wanted to play some songs with her, and I want to make sure that they're not doing like a bit here, like they're not coming from the bar and then they just rolling in to do a bit.
And that wasn't a bit.
Well, I don't. Well, listen. He's like, we're gonna play some Irish folk song, and they got up, and the gentleman played the melodica.
Yeah.
Which is not something that's easy to. And as they said, their first time, they've never done anything like this. The guy played guitar.
No, it was
he
great.
sang the song.
Enjoyable.
He played the melodica, which for folks who don't know, it's like the you blow into it and it's got the keys on it.
Yeah.
And that's got to be difficult for him to learn. And it did not look like something that I was ever expecting him to do. And he's playing the melodica. He's playing his little heart out. And it was nice. They did one song, a nice little Irish folk song. The crowd kind of got into it towards the end.
I left. I went to my car. I had to run to my car, so I used the time.
I was protesting this performance.
It was before. It was the gentleman whose name I refused to remember.
Matt Brennan.
Matt Brennan.
Thank you.
Well, I made the Matt Brennan joke before. You'd think I'd remember it. So I was like, I run to my car. Matt Brennan just got to the stage. Okay, I'm going to run out real quick. Yeah. And then I walked in. I had to walk a little ways to my car. I walked into these guys on stage, and I go, what did I just walk into?
Yeah.
This is crazy. But the audience felt like really got into it. They were hyped about it.
Well, because they got up and they said to start, we've never done this before. So this is our first time. They were visibly nervous, and I thought that I hope they come back. And it's hard.
Yeah,
to
just
perform.
maybe if they know any non-Pogue songs.
Oh, I don't know. Is that what they did? I don't.
No, I just
Irish person myself. I don't know much about the Irish folk song.
You good?
Yeah. Victoria Hughes then came up and did some poetry. Though I think I have the order backwards.
A rising star in the comedy world, don't you think? Was Victoria Hughes next? Yeah, I think so.
Do I have that right? Victoria Hughes was next,
and then she was, because she made a comment. Her first comment on stage was like, "Thanks for the lineup, Ricky. How am I going to follow that?"
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, so she was.
Victoria. I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking of. There was. Yes, Victoria Hughes came up. Yes, that's right. The comedian came up after that. There was another person that she was Tori. That was another comedian, poet that came on after Ariana. That's why I thought I had it backwards.
Victoria Hughes.
Victoria Hughes, wonderful comedian. She opened for at Stony Brook. She opened for Volcano, which I think is awesome. And she's always, whenever I see her at mics, much like what you're saying, she's always, which is what mics are for, always working on new stuff. Always has new material.
Too. Spoiler later on, you said Daddy Zaglin's a hard worker at open mics.
Oh,
as well.
yeah. Oh yeah, yes.
You like to see that.
Always has new stuff. Always has great ideas. And I see, I'll see an idea that she's working on. If when I was more out there, she in open mics, which I'm not as much anymore. But like she would have an idea on Monday, and then by the time it gets to the next Monday, if I come by, it's already morphed into to a great idea. And she's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, if you could buy stock in comics, I would put some.
Well, she won the
money
Long
down
Island
on-
Laugh Off for whatever that means anymore, but she did win that competition. So I think hopefully they'll have her. They'll have her.
There are times where
stuff
people have
there.
won it where it's been, I feel like, a little bit suspicious.
Yes.
I came in third once, and
Yes.
I beat.
I came in third as well.
I beat Tim Dillon
I came in third as well.
in the one that Tim Dillon was below me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, that it definitely those competitions always speak more towards comedy contests than
Yeah.
they do towards the comics that are in them. Like it's always, I knew the judges. He didn't. That was all
Yes.
it took. Like there's no way I was funnier than him ever in my life.
I don't know. It would fun to see those videos though from back then to compare it now. Yeah, we got the videos of it.
I don't think I have that. No.
That'd be good. I came in third, and Nick Tillelli won. Who obviously is Nick Tillelli, one of the funniest comics.
He's so good.
one
Yeah.
of the funniest comics. I'll say working, bar none.
I agree. He
Bar
does, and he
none.
does the kind of jokes I like.
Yeah,
He's not
bar-
doing like boring storytelling. He's got jokes. He's got stories, but there's jokes.
Any level, I think he's one of the best working
I
right now. I came
agree.
in third to him, and I still use it in my credits for today. I'm hoping he becomes more successful, so I can say that. And when he becomes more successful, I should say. Ariana, I'm the last. How do I say the last name? Oh boy.
It's your best
Oh
friend.
boy.
Oh, she went by
so-
her new last
oh.
name. Oh, okay.
Well,
That's a disease, isn't it?
That's not me saying. That's not me
Well,
saying.
I think she just introduced her by
She may have not even
Ariana.
said her last
Yeah, I
name.
think you
to be
just.
fair.
Yeah, I think she just signed up
So-
as Ariana. That's how she was introduced. So I like the idea of her being a one-named poet.
Yeah.
She's great. I mean, I've watched her do poetry before, and she did a poem that I saw once before that literally brought me to tears the first time I saw
was
it.
absolutely magnificent. Poetry performance.
How do you say it now? Mina Rotunda? Okay.
A wonderful performer. C-Rxch, now you've been to other open mics in your time, mixed mics and things like that, and you've seen poets. Poets are, it's interesting the levels of different types of performances that you could see in a poet. And I thought that she was, in terms of the full performance, very physical, very deliberate.
She's been doing it
with
a
her
while.
things. Yeah.
She used to host. She used to do a lot of like hosting and finding locations for doing poetry readings. Like she was like pretty heavy in the poetry world.
Really? Okay.
For a while, yeah. She was like a pretty, like a kind of a pillar of the poetry community for a while. So she's no.
Did you say
she's no newbie?
Did you say Adrian?
Ariana.
Ariana. Okay, I thought you said Adrian before.
And yeah,
so
she has that one.
Ariana.
She has a one about kind of battling eating and weight loss, and like I've also like stuff that resonates with me. And the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know, I was gonna cry during this.
Yeah.
Like, so
I'd love if
she's
we
great.
could post one of those. That she
I
did,
asked
but if we
her.
could
So
ask
she doesn't
her.
have any social media. She's one of those people.
Okay, if she'd allow us to post it, I'd
But
love to
I
share
did
it.
ask her because I said, "Can we post one of your poems on the and then some thing?" So we got the okay. So
we did?
Yeah,
That'd be
I'd
awesome.
love to send it to you
Nice.
and you could post it. Yeah.
That'd be awesome, and hopefully,
No
she'll
name.
return.
She doesn't name her poems, so that's going to be
Much like C-Rxch doesn't name his work.
yeah, it's poem one. Yeah.
Poem 2.
Are we listening to instrumentals right now?
Nah, unreleased.
Unreleased, exclusive.
We're getting exclusives on this thing.
You don't even know what you're tuning into. Now, we don't actually know what format you're listening to this on right now, so I don't think we've determined that. But and then we had another performer after that.
You had 3 poets in a row.
3 poets in a row. Now, this person did message me and said that they didn't want their work being shared, which obviously it's okay because we didn't plan on doing that. I told her we don't share it unless they ask for it to be shared. And so I'll just leave her name off because I don't necessarily know what she meant by that.
Did she say that she signed up for a comedy class?
Yes, she did.
So I think she might be re-entering the venue in a different format.
Yeah,
at some point.
That could be as well. And then another poet was Thomas Basel. Now I did want to play this one. Could we play this one?
Yeah, which one was it? Was this first one or the second one?
I think. I mean, I don't know how long it. I think I wanted to do the second one, but I think the whole thing total wasn't that long. But
yeah, let's drop the music down.
Yeah.
Just like you get the same experience live that you do on this show here.
It's almost exactly the same.
That
Yeah,
echoed
that's
fade away.
great.
Yeah. You want to let the.
Oh, that's good. Oh, you see it right there. Look, folks.
Hello, everyone.
This is Thomas Bazo, folks.
I've always thought it was a mark of a really good poet to make you feel something, even if it's been you haven't experienced before. So I have 2 goals and 2 poems. I'm going to try to make you cry, and I'm going to try to make you laugh. So we'll see what happens. Does anyone have a preference about what they want to do first?
Crying first.
Crying first?
Now, cry later.
Excellent.
You how clean
Okay.
that C-Rxch contribution was?
Yeah. I
We
was
live
wondering
in
why
the
we still laugh.
future far too often. We love to. We often prefer to. It is rife with possibilities. Our deepest desires, our wildest fantasies, we drink them all in. We dance in these futures, intoxicated. We drink and we dance until we forget that what we are celebrating, reveling in, is not ours. Not yet. Maybe not ever. And so, when rejection comes, when loss comes, its sting is profound, magnified even. For we feel robbed of a future that existed already in our minds. How dare our minds be stolen? A tragedy of our making. A grief for what did not exist, and now may never. The ballroom has gone quiet, and we no longer remember the dance.
Yeah, we can play that one. That's good.
Good.
Yeah. I thought that was really wonderful. And then he had told me he had not ever done anything like
Performed
this
it before. Yeah. So he's he probably writes poetry quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's his first performance. So
yeah, maybe we'll he's going to come back for the next show.
That's great.
So
Nice.
so maybe we'll chat with him. If
The
he
video
wants.
does remind me of something. There's a ding that happens so much. Is that
in the door?
The door?
Yeah.
Is there any way to?
We'll find out. I had the same thought.
Yeah.
We'll find out about that. Yeah, maybe there's a mute button that we could put on that.
Yeah.
I think that's like a thing, like where like in shops, possibly like if you're in the back or something.
No,
it must be like
I have no question as to why it exists. I just think if there a way to override
turn it off
for a certain amount of
I
time.
certainly hope so because it does kind of ruin the vibe a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, did somebody leave or come in?
Yeah. Yeah.
You really know when you've walked the room a little bit.
Ding 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 ding. Starts going off like a fire alarm.
Is something I said?
Yeah.
So that was the third poem. It's poetry is the person. A poem is the thing. I keep it straight. Poet.
Poets.
You have 3. Was that on purpose?
I think no. That was I think because there was some. I had to do some maneuvering, and some people wanted to go a little bit earlier, so I had to try to shift it around. And also, poetry usually goes fast. Actually, didn't in this case, but usually poems like Tom was pretty quick. And usually they only want to do 1 or 2, and it's usually like a minute long. And so I don't mind kind of putting them back to back. In this case, it wasn't necessarily the case because they kind of use their time, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
So it didn't end up being that case. But I did want to probably in the future space it out. This lineup that I had got completely scrapped from what I had originally curated because some people weren't there. I had to shift people around, so a little bit on the fly with that one. So, Jared, I always say his name wrong. Cagnon went right after him. He was a guy who I met at a show. He was friends with somebody under the comic. He just came there and he was really interested in being a comedian and was trying things out. And so he came to our first show that we did and was very nervous and kind of was only up there for about a minute. And he's been working, I think, with Steve Rocco on kind of like how to get better a little bit, like on some coaching and stuff like that. And I thought he really pulled together, like just from a 1 month difference in terms of feeling comfortable on stage and anything like that. But like, this is what the showcase, the open mic showcase is for, to get up there and to try it out.
Yeah, he reached out to me after and asked if I had some really sweet questions. It's like, did you, kind of get my tape, my thing. He goes, I don't know, do you charge for that? And he said, did you even tape me? And I was like, oh, this guy really is like, so I was like, yeah, I got you, I'll send it to you. He goes, it's free of charge, don't worry about it. So he asked me about like, I always tell people, I said, let me know if there's any clips in here that you want. I'll reformat it for, Instagram, so it's portrait and you can post it. So he was like, well, I'm pretty new to this. I don't know if I should be posting clips. I said, it's fine, just let me know if anything you want. And then he said, I've only been doing it, I think he said since February. And I was like, well, February was the first month, the first show we did. So I'm like, yo, that's not kind of new. You're a baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's like they kind of put you in a whole new light. I was like, oh, for somebody who just started, this, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
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 So I was like, yeah, I'm like, don't obligate yourself to post something. It's not, but if you want to just post like, hey, I just started comedy. I'm looking forward to getting better. I'm proud of, I'm happy that I started this, then post a clip. I'm like, you're not going to go viral posting any of your clips now, but Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Post it. Don't.
It's one of those things where it's like if you want to post it, it's just to show people that may book you that you are.
Yeah, I'm doing this and I'm
doing
available
this,
and
I'm a comedian.
Yeah, right.
I'm a comedian. That's kind of what the clips are for at our point is to
It's just
viral
like, hey,
is
remember
whatever.
my face and name. I'm still doing this.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Like I'm still a performer that can come perform for you. So it's wonderful to have him. He's gonna come back actually to the show, which is good. Ricky Rochelle was there. Ricky Rochelle was a guy who came to the first show just as a spectator, just to watch. Very nice. Stayed for the whole show. It was very complimentary at the end. And he asked, at the end of the last show before that, our first show, he said, hey, can I sign up? And that's how it works. If you stay for the whole show, you get to sign up for the next show. That's what you get for being supportive. And so he asked to sign up, and I was like, well, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I play music. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, you can do that. So he had this really catchy song that he wrote. It's like a Halloween themed about his girlfriend and kind of being a witch and it was really catchy.
You only associate witches with Halloween? You think that's a... so I don't think he mentions Halloween at all.
I suppose you're right.
And
witches,
you know what? Wiccans are around at all times, and witches are not necessarily.
I think I saw a video of him doing it at like a Halloween, like on his Instagram.
Right. Well, I
So maybe that's what I'm
I
pitching.
understand why one would do that because.
But you're right.
I feel like that's
he's
it's
not
time,
he's not
time to shine.
He's not a Halloween specific performer.
No,
right?
this song is not a Halloween specific
Yes.
song. This is a witch specific song.
Which specific song?
Yeah, but it is a song that the comic after him, I believe, came up singing that song. It was
Yes,
so catchy.
it was stuck in my head for a long time.
In the editing of it, anytime I was editing through that,
Yeah.
I found myself singing that song for a while like that. So it definitely has a hookiness to
It's
it.
very,
yeah.
very catchy.
And just one song you
just
did. You
one
asked me,
song.
you want to do another song? And he's like, no, that's
And
good.
it was quick too. It was very
Yeah.
catchy, little pop punk song, little on acoustic guitar. Jammed it out. It was really nice. Got on, got off. He was very nervous. He's like really and I had him
Really?
earlier in the
he
lineup.
Seems like, he strikes me as a guy who's like pretty not like established, but I mean, seems like
he informed me that he said, I performed in very big venues with, large audiences,
Yeah.
and I've never been more nervous than I am for this show.
Really?
And I don't know what it is, but I will say there is something about the way that we have it set up where when the lights are on you and the audience seemingly looks like it goes on this way.
Yeah. It's like Woodstock.
There is a little bit of there was a little bit of a nerve-wrackingness to it, even for myself. I don't really know what it is, what's intimidating about it. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's a compliment, hopefully, but maybe it means that the room's a little tight. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a comment to feeling like it's a
you want
real.
to do well, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's what you want, but
And there's there's cameras on you.
yeah. So hopefully he.
I do wonder
it's a
about that
compliment.
sometimes. When people are like, I don't want to be on camera. Like I'm more nervous with the cameras, and
Yeah, but I think that they'll always wish that they would have had a recording,
Right.
than rather not do
Yeah,
it.
and I mean, you want to tell anybody like it is recorded, but if you don't want to be recorded, it's going to be recorded, but we'll dump it immediately.
I think that's
I'll delete it immediately, and like it'll never see the day, the light of day.
Yeah.
If that's their wish, but it'd be more trouble for me to stop everything down for one act than.
I think so. I think
So, yeah.
I mean, I'll make that announcement, but I think comedians especially are always going to wish that they would have had recorded.
Comedians.
Comedians,
Not
but other performers,
necessarily
maybe not.
perform. Yeah.
Maybe not. And then so Charlie Myers got up. Charlie Myers is a guy. I believe he lives in. I shouldn't give away where he lives, but he lives near where I live. He lives in that area, let's say.
Okay.
And I know him. Our kids go to the same school, so I see him, much more than I did when we were doing comedy more regularly.
Say much more than I want to.
No. But I see him at like functions at the school, and so he's always a very nice guy. But like we didn't do comedy at a lot of the same shows.
Yeah.
And so we kind of linked up through that way. And so when he saw that I was doing a show locally, he was like, I'd love to do it. And I thought that he did the first show that we did. I thought he really brought it. I mean, he's a guy, I think like me, who's he's got kids and he's got kind of a thing going on. So he doesn't get up as much as he would like to.
Yeah.
And so he really tries to make the most out of the spots that he gets. So
Got
I thought
energy.
I thought he really brought it the first show. And then he came back and he had the joke about the long ass crack, which was very funny to me, which I feel like I relate to quite a bit. So I appreciate him coming out. Yes. And so he brought a lot of energy and was really fun to have.
He did, and I don't want to get. He surprised me. Some of his point of views, like you were saying before, like you don't want to stereotype somebody.
Yeah.
But when he walked out, like I was like, he's like kind of a ranty kind of guy, and I was like, oh man, I hope I'm not gonna have to like whatever it is. But then he kind of expressed some views.
He
I
has,
was like,
he has a joke specifically where it seems like it's going one way, and he kind of turns it a little bit.
yeah,
right?
and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, good. I'm in like safe hands. I'm in, he's everything's got to be on one side or the other these days. And I was like, oh, cool. He's not a lunatic. That was nice to see. Ricky has kids, everybody. So if you're wondering why Ricky disappears to his phone every once in a while, you have to give. We're living in a world where anybody with kids, they have carte blanche to pull out their phone at any point, right? That's fair to say. You can't judge somebody. I feel like you go to these comedy shows and they give you, you got to put your phone in a bag. You're not allowed to use your phone during the comedy show. And it's like, people have children, and there's emergencies that come up. It's like, sure, we used to live in the dark ages where people would exist without their phones, but we don't anymore.
Sorry, actually.
And people expect to be able to. Don't blow my bit here. I'm giving you an excuse to why you look at your phone.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, your punchline.
No, there was no punchline.
Oh, was it improv?
I was filling time.
Oh no, that was actually Pat Dunn. I had mistaken the time thing. Yeah. But he's got something else that came up, so we can't do the call. And so that was okay.
I set up a whole thing. Is there anyone else we can call?
We probably could call somebody else if you want. We could call. I don't know if Brendan's available. We could call him to see if he could talk about the same topic. We could see.
He did it a month earlier.
We could.
Why don't you text him and see if he's available?
All right,
I can call him up just as easily as I can call up Pat Dunn.
Actually, I don't have his text. I don't have his.
You don't have his cell number?
No, I'm on an Instagram message actually.
What? You're on an Instagram message?
I don't get out. I just
only with Brendan Ryan.
Me and C-Rxch just got out of Instagram message. I just got his number.
Just got out.
Just got out.
Oh,
of it.
Congratulations, you guys!
Yeah, it was big.
That's so cute.
Well, you and I just got out of it not that long, probably short enough ago that it should have been. We probably should have got it out sooner, but we hung out there for a while.
That's probably true.
I think that's probably true. I don't ever know what to make the jump, and then I didn't know how to save you, like what contact number to put you. I was like, name. Do I put C-Rxch? Do I put? I don't want to give out your real name here on the air, but
hold on, I got an alert about.
C-Rxch the Beatsmith.
Mamdani announced this site of first New York City run grocery store. That's pretty cool.
That is, yes.
A grocery run city grocery store.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna
talk.
I'm gonna text
So
Brendan
after
Ryan.
that, so the next guy that came up was a guy named Joey. I only know him by his first name. He was the guy that showed up, didn't pre-sign up, came in off the street. Was a very nice, interesting fella. He had he came in like kind of hot with like jokes and bits already, and I was like, is this guy a comic? Because I've been around enough, or at least me and Ryan combined have been around enough to kind of know any comic of any sort of length of time. So if a guy comes off the street that says they're doing comedy, I know this is maybe he's not a regular. So I'm like, what is it that you're doing? Like, he's like, can I sign up? And I was like, sure. What is it you want to do? And he was like, I do poetry. And I was like, oh, okay, because he was kind of an interesting looking cat, so I was like interested to see where he was going to go with this thing. But he got up and he did this long poem. It was kind of had some throwbacks to some like older literature, and I think there was some stuff to like the Odyssey, I think he was referencing, and it was really kind of this long, beautiful poem. I saw him, he took it out of his pocket, he read it off like he had kind of handwritten it on this kind of long paper, and he kind of read through it, and it was really, really quite interesting. I was really happy to have him.
Yeah, that was. I think I was also doing something production-wise for him, but it seemed like an interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
guy,
that's the thing is like, so what I do is like, there's pre-signups beforehand, and then I try to curate it to make sure that like there are people there that are going to have some sort of level of quality, and then I have open signups for anyone that wants to come in. But when you have people coming in off the street, you got to be a little bit weary. You don't know what the heck people are going to do. You also don't want to provide a loud microphone to people that could be concerning to the, to give a large microphone to with a large sound system to in a public space, so you got to be a little bit weary. But so far we've had a pretty good thing. Anyone who I didn't know that came up out of nowhere and did some stuff. So that's the thing with artists, man. Artists are at all shapes and sizes and all appearances can be deceiving in that kind of way. And so after that, we had Zach Alexander. This was the magician that I had mentioned earlier. And I don't have any, like I said, he just appeared. I had messaged him once or twice, didn't really get any sort of response from him. And he just appeared on that time to perform, and I was happy to have him.
And he only did the one trick, and he did some comedy up front, and very funny. I feel like he was obviously a professional. Like, I would, I'd probably pay to see this guy tomorrow if he's like told me he was doing
honestly,
a show.
Yeah, and so I was kind of hoping he would do more, but I also kind of get the idea that like, well, you got to pay.
Right.
Pay to
And
see
he said
more.
this was a trick I'm working on specifically, and but he nailed it. And
Did he?
Yeah,
did
funny.
He,
Like,
did
it's
he
like
reach
his
out
stuff
about,
before
did
that
he
was
reach out
funny.
about video?
No,
No, I
I
don't
don't think he did.
did.
No.
Because I think probably. So should we say what the trick was? I don't know if I wish to spoil it, but the idea was he had this set up top. He goes, I have two options for you. I have a card trick, and then I have something that's a little more dangerous. And I, being the host of the show, was like, I hope we go with the thing that's not dangerous. I don't know what this guy's gonna do. I was hoping he would do the one that's not so dangerous. And also, I like card tricks. So he goes, all right, I'll do the one that's more dangerous. But then he looks over at me. He's like, but you're responsible, pointing to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care for this at all. I don't really, you know, I voted the other way. Don't listen to these people. They don't know what they're doing. And so he decides that he's going to, I'd be interested in sword swallowing. And so I was like, oh boy, where's this? And he reaches, and he was wearing kind of like a longer coat. And so he reaches into his coat, and I was like, oh boy, what's going to happen
Oh my
here?
God, I
what
didn't
this is
think
gonna
about
be.
that.
And so he pulls out, which is again really funny. He pulls out like a balloon, like you make like a balloon animal.
Balloon, yeah.
And I should say, I had a time, as I'm sure most people did when they were younger, where I learned how to make balloon animals. You ever learn how to make
I
balloon
never
animals?
did. No.
Never.
You buy but you got to get a special pump, like he had a little pump. You get the longer balloons, because that's how you make the longer ones. Because I originally tried to do it with regular balloons and thought you could just stretch them out, and that didn't work. And so I had to buy the
I didn't know that.
special balloon. If you saw it when he takes it out, it's like kind of a long.
No,
balloon.
I know. Yeah, it makes sense now. I did,
Steve Martin also does a bit where he's like, "You're gonna make balloon animals," but then he goes, "Everyone makes balloon animals. I'm gonna make the balloon animals first before blowing them up." And he takes the balloon animals and he ties them all together, and it's a pretty kind of a funny little bit that he does.
I got a okay on Brendan Ryan, but he's be ready in about 5 minutes. So
That's fine.
We
Yeah, we're good.
reach
We're
out to
good.
him a little bit later.
Yeah. That's fine. And so he takes out the balloon and he goes, I want to practice sword swallowing, but I'm going to start with the balloon. Now, I thought he was going to make it into a sword, like the balloon into a sword, but I guess the bit is the same either way. And and also it wouldn't work.
He could no, you're right.
It wouldn't work.
Like I said, spoil it. I mean, the whole thing went down the hatch.
But I don't think I could spoil it because I don't really even know. It's one of those things with magic where it's like, what part was the trick?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what he does is
you wonder, is it one of these things like David Blaine would always say, like, I haven't learned how to do the trick of how to put a nail through my hand. I have just learned how to put a nail through my hand.
Right.
And you just can't believe that I would do something like that.
And if you do enough of those that are real enough that aren't dangerous, then you could start lying about the stuff that is the trick. So that's the thing. Is like, what part of it was a trick? Now, I'd love to see what C-Rxch's face was. I don't remember what his face was when he started doing this.
Yeah,
what was it?
I don't know if I was nervous, but I'm like,
I was a little nervous because so basically he has this long balloon, like a balloon, and he starts kind of lowering it down his throat like he's gonna sword swallow it, and he kind of goes down, and it looks like it's going down. I mean, the balloon is not deflating; it's going like he's passing it down his throat, and then he gets it to the bottom, and where it's just basically like the little. I'm gonna say nipple. I don't think that's the right word, but I think that's what it probably is. Like, it's exactly what it was.
I would say to call it a belly button because it always looks like a belly button.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's either the little tail of it was sticking out, and he's having the crowd cheer. And that part they were pretty loud. So maybe we can get them a little more excited. Yeah. And he accidentally kind of swallows it, and the rest of the thing the balloon animal is gone.
Poof, gone.
The balloon is gone. I mean, it was pretty crazy. And he said it'll come out later, and then he had a Taco Bell thing about, I don't want to give away the whole bit, but I don't know which, you don't know which part. What's the trick? What's
I
not?
know.
But boy, was it exciting! That's the reason I want. Like, you're not going to see that.
I know, it was really great.
And imagine you're at the burger bar down the block. You pop in, hey, what's going on in here? And you see that somebody do that. How great is that? For free.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're having at the show here. This is great stuff. So he was wonderful. I hope he comes back. Like I said, these magicians are very elusive.
Yeah.
God knows if I could to get one back or to show up. It's almost like Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible movies, where you just kind of hope that they pick up the message somewhere out there. You can't contact them directly. So we'll see how that goes. Now, this is a good transition. And why don't you start that one from the top? Can you turn it up a little bit? Because next on the show was C-Rxch doing his beat set.
That's right.
Which has become, I mean, like I said, I've only done 2 shows, but I feel like we've been doing it for a long time. It's been one of my favorite parts, is because I think that people are so, what you do is unique in the sense where it's like people have seen DJs or something like that at a show like this. But I think you're doing your own music and you're playing beats that you've made. And so when people, I think a few people did come up to you and say, what is this you're playing? Or like kind of what are you doing a little bit, you know what I mean? And so when you stressed it, like, no, these are beats that I've made.
Yeah, these are beats I made.
Yeah, it's.
They're like,
that's how I felt the first time I heard you, and I was like, this is nuts. So it's so great to have you. I'm surprised that no one else in the comedy community has stolen you or tried to bring you into their show.
Not yet, at least.
Which I would encourage you to do, but pay him handsomely to do so, or provide him opportunity, because it just creates, like, there are other, and I shouldn't even say it, but there are other. I'll just say there are other comedy shows that have music, either introductions or interludes, but they're gonna play, you know, jock jams or party number one, rock
it's a
number
perfect
one.
Vibe.
This is a perfect.
The music
level
matches the vibe perfectly. I feel like for this.
but it's not like, this is not like lo-fi music of this is. It's got the boom bap. It's got the kick of the drum. It's of a certain quality that you made. So it's just it hits all the quadrants of fitting perfectly.
No, I love it too. I love the break in listening to somebody talk. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
there is, like, when I was going up in the second half, and part of me worries, like, this is a good opportunity because people sometimes get up. I kind of wish that people would sit there and just, like, really kind of focus on the music more, like, kind of be more less passive with it.
Yeah.
People and then you walk around, you hand out candy.
I hand out candy,
which is it's nice. It's a nice thing. But I'm always like, oh, are people going to take this opportunity to be like, all right, I've seen enough. I'm going to head out. Because sometimes you get people to stay there that feel like, like, all right, I kind of am obligated. I'm stuck here.
Yeah. Or I've paid money for it.
I paid money for a ticket. So, like, but everybody came, like, everybody seemed like to stick around for it.
Certainly everybody in the front, people maybe in the back left.
Yeah,
or then
maybe a few people left. But if, like, it wasn't like a mass exit. It's great.
And I actually felt, and we'll get to this because I think you were on. Oh no, there was Katrina. Katrina went on after you.
Yeah,
before you,
me,
and then right after C-Rxch. But I kind of felt that once some of the people kind of did leave, that who was left was actually quite reactive, even more kind of pumped up a little bit. That's kind of how I felt. Like, and then as I was mentioning, I don't know if this was in the previous episode or this episode. I don't necessarily mind that there are people that are kind of shift leaving, coming in, coming out.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily mind that.
No, I don't mind it either. I think that keep everybody happy. Like, nobody's where they don't want to be.
That's right. There's nothing worse than that, or you're waiting. You can't leave until you pay your ticket or anything like that. So how do you feel about your set where it's placed? Do you feel all right?
I feel comfortable with my set where it's placed. I have no complaints. I still get my shots off regardless.
Yeah. And I think it's like with the way that you're doing it is because it's music like this you're listening to. Is this on the beat tape?
No, it's unreleased.
Exclusive.
This might be on Instrumentals too.
This is, I got to tell you, I really like Instrumentals 1. Everything I've heard from 2 is really phenomenal.
Thank you.
I'm excited for 2. When are we looking on that again?
Most likely in the summer.
Oh,
but like, either August or September, but I'm shooting towards August.
Can you play this one from the top?
I got you.
Turn up a little bit, Ryan. Is that okay? Yeah, that's awesome. What do you call this one? Something? Is there a name for this one? Or it'll be whatever the track list.
Nah, it'll be a track listing, but I already got a saved file, but it's a saved session. Imposter Syndrome.
Like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Who would be your dream MC to lace one of your tracks?
Dead or alive?
Let's make it realistic.
Let's go alive.
Maybe we can get him.
So Conway the Machine.
Interesting.
Good
one.
He's on my phone, No, I'm serious. I have his number on my phone. I was gonna produce his podcast.
Whoa.
Yeah. That not happening anymore?
He's working on an album. We set up a thing. Like, I've done a couple Zooms with him, and then the next Zoom got canceled because I was like, oh, he's still in the studio. And I'm like, it's like I was saying before, like, rappers have everything. I do podcasts. I like my rappers rapping. I don't a podcast, so I'm like, I would gladly postpone this production meeting with Conway if he's in the studio making music. That's where I want him.
So we're way less degrees removed than you may have thought with that one. In terms of,
I would say Conway.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I get them all confused. It wasn't, but his brother. No, it was Conway. Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, no, comedy.
Right.
Yeah. Why do I? Yeah, sometimes I get. Wait, is his brother? It was Benny the Butcher, and then who's his brother?
Brother's West Side
His
Gun.
His
cousin's
West Side
Benny.
Gun, and then his cousin.
You had it
is-
correct.
I had it correct. Disregard.
Podcast you were
I
going
got
to
you.
introduce if you had
All
the
right,
artist
so
correct.
Conway the Machine would be a great collaboration. Joey Badass, of course.
Oh, sure.
Larry June.
Oh, nice.
That's her guy.
Yeah.
She doesn't know him, but she likes him.
She's producing a podcast for Larry G.
Is he in Griselda too?
No.
No.
Is it
he's not-
Jason?
No. I
No,
don't think
Oh,
so.
because I heard a guy talking about like where. Oh, maybe because is he
He
older?
does-
He's a little bit older.
Yeah, he does stuff with The Alchemist, and I think.
Alchemist.
Yeah, Alchemist and
He's
Carlo
West
got
Coast.
wings.
He's more
Yeah,
West
LA.
Coast. Oh, some guy was just. I was watching videos like where are these guys? Where were they in the early 2000s? Because
That's
they're
a good
all a little bit
question.
older,
Yeah.
and like they've been rapping since then.
Yeah.
Like why are they just like they're all popping when they're a little bit older?
Mm.
Like well, like
I
I think it was just
I say Larry's a year older than me.
okay.
Oh, so Larry's younger.
Larry's
Yeah, younger.
Yeah.
So like
All right.
West Side, Conway, and
Are you in
Benny
your
are older.
mid-40s?
Early 30s.
Oh, okay. So
Like
yes.
he makes music of an older person maybe.
Yeah. Well, certainly that's yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
Brendan said he's home whenever you want. So
All right, we can get to him actually if you want to dial him up because the next we're gonna do Katrina. So your set I
This is
thought
a good
was
spot.
great. Love to have you.
Yeah.
Katrina came on and I did ask if she because I did a show with her where she was playing guitar and singing and it was really funny and I thought but it was at like kind of a brewery where the sound wasn't perfect for that and I thought oh well, this would be perfect if you did it at our show and it really was. She really did a great job.
she's
The
a great
sound was
performer. I
good.
told her afterwards. I said you're really a great performer. I feel very safe when you're on stage.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the hands of somebody who's sometimes the worst part about being in a show is when somebody looks uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I get uncomfortable. Like I'm an empath.
Yeah.
So when I see somebody uncomfortable, I'm like, oh, like, I hope this goes okay. I hope they're comfortable.
Yeah.
When she hits the stage, it's like, oh, she's like totally natural.
Playing
Feels like she
songs
belongs there.
that are very funny, but also kind of intricate. So it's not a lot of words to remember,
Talented.
a lot of things that
Yeah.
very talented. I loved having her there. I think it's a great use of that.
She's a great voiceover artist. She does a lot
does
of
she do that? Oh,
voiceover
really?
stuff. She does little voices and stuff. She does, yeah.
Maybe we should have her do some drops for this thing. That'd
be
be kind of
great.
good. That'd be good. But she was great. I think maybe we'll have her back. I think she's going to be on the next show as well. So that'll be good. I think it's a great avenue for her with the. It's a perfect spot for the music/comedy folks. Rob Hall is going to be at the next show. He plays guitar and sings. So I wonder if I can if he's going to do joke songs because he also does real songs. He's really a talented musician and singer. So
Do one of each, maybe.
that's what I'm gonna pitch to make sure he knows that he could do. He's in a band called the Roids. Him and I did their podcast over the summer. Him and Andy, who is a nice guy. But I think he lives not in the area, so I think it might just be Rob. But I'm happy to have him. And next was you. But if we want to talk to Brendan,
let's dial up Brendan.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get him on
Let's
the
see if
line,
this
yeah.
works.
Yeah. So Pat Dunn was gonna be on the call, but I screwed up on the timing.
But this is
with
it's a
him, so.
good. You know what? Why don't we'll talk about me quick
Go ahead.
because then it was after me was Pat Dunn.
Well, there's
and-
a music guy, but we can play him after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll do Brendan now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do FaceTime audio. Let's see if this guy picks up.
live on the show.
Love in the show. Here we go.
I hate calling it a podcast.
I don't know what else to
I know.
the show.
It is what
Hey.
it is. But I know it is.
Hey, is this Brendan Ryan?
Sure is.
Can he hear
Wow.
us? Can he hear us as well?
I sure hope
I
so.
hear you,
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool.
You hear Ricky loud and clear?
Ricky.
Hey, Brendan, how are you, buddy?
What's happening, Brandon?
That's
I'm
C-Rxch.
fantastic.
Brendan.
Brandon, sorry.
Yeah, that's C-Rxch the Beatsmith.
yeah.
DJ.
Can you hear the music?
If I pot it
Hearing
up,
music.
Oh,
I think we dropped the music down. We got a
Yeah,
little
I
music
turned it
bed
off,
on this,
so
on
I'm
this
just-
show.
Well, we can turn it off because it'll be confusing for him. But I suppose if you could hear it, that's awesome.
Are you curious?
Can you hear that, Brendan?
Oh, I hear it now.
That's
Anything
amazing.
you can hear, you can hear.
That's amazing. We could do we get rappers on the phone. We could rap. Could they rap in real? That'd be really.
There's a bit of a
funny.
delay. I feel like I don't know that's going to line up.
Oh,
I
that's
feel
true.
like,
That'd be
the
fair
problem
enough.
with music is the thing's got to line up perfectly.
So, Brendan, the reason we're having you on is we're doing a post show of the last and then some showcase. So, you were not on that
Yes.
show. We were originally going to talk to Pat Dunn. I did a little screw up with the timing, so he had to do other things, and that's my bad.
So you
as
got
well.
another guy beard.
Well, we had a
No,
we
got-
were going to talk to him. But the question was specifically more about a person who Pat did a set that was.
He stole your act, is what we're trying to say.
He did a
Oh,
very.
my act.
He did a
You know
very-
what?
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
I love Pat, and what Pat really out of his comfort zone there. Fantastic set. It was. I love, but it made me feel. All right, people are paying it. They're trying to. Going.
Yeah.
So the question I was going to ask Pat, and he did a wonder, and I should say Pat Dunn, a regular Long Island comedian, gets up all the time, does wonderful stuff, but normally is more jokes, just
rich jokes.
Just great.
And Brendan,
jokes.
so Brendan, same thing.
Yeah.
Is great comic.
Yeah.
But use this. This is a great space for comics who feel like I'm tired of being a clown. I want to talk about something.
Or more narrative, and he actually even did one particular story that was a little bit more of a story, and then not joke first, I think is maybe the way to say.
Yeah, and like these are comedians, so they're funny people. So
That's
I
right.
feel like it's even these stories are going to be like Brendan didn't necessarily do his act, but it was he was funny during it.
So the question I was going to ask Pat, which I will now direct to you, and then we'll have Pat. We'll kind of we'll stagger these. Maybe the next show.
We'll be 1 month behind on all these.
Talk to me about your preparation for this type of set versus your normal act, and what you kind of had going into it.
So, my preparation has been minimal. I've been coming up, like if I have an idea, I'll write it in the note. Like that whole story about I had vertigo. My other friend Brendan, another guy named Brendan out there. It was all true. It was just the way I've been doing it lately. I have a story. I'm like, oh, that talked about on stage. Like it's not like I'm gonna for this, but it's like I'm gonna go and talk about this and see where. Because I feel like I've gotten now where I'm like comfortable. Not being funny on stage.
Right.
And
You know what I mean?
it sounds crazy, but that's actually a great place to be as a comic because
It's a really fun place to be. Like you can experiment with stuff, and I love telling stuff. Like I Colin Quinn is a big influence on me. I let back in the day, John Leguizamo, his stuff. I just like storytelling. And I've always been interested in.
Yeah, you mentioned to me that your dream podcast would be a storytelling podcast, and we actually recorded
I love it.
2 episodes of that haven't seen the light of day.
Yeah.
But did you beat it out at all in terms of like bullet pointed out in terms of or hitting anything, or did you put any sort of punch ups in it? Or
wrote it.
Like that?
I wrote it out. Not like I had some bullet points, but that I didn't. I wish I spent more time on it.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you think? Now you think
But
based on? Go ahead.
Spent more time on it. I spent more time on it. I kind of talk myself to like going down I feel like it's better the raw emotion of it. Like I'm always better just telling a story without it being written. When I write, it just seems like I'm reading what I wrote, and you know what I'm saying?
Well, I wonder in terms of the. Would you take this again and now punch it up, or would you feel like if it loses the heart of it, if it loses the spontaneity of the emotion, does it lose its value? So in that case, is it?
Well, I think it was special, right?
Yeah.
Because it was how I was, like, especially with the kidney transplant stuff. Like I've been going through a lot of. I've been emotional.
Yeah.
Kind of like that's how I'm feeling there. And that's what about that. It's not like it's not a skit. You know, it's not like
right.
it. Like it's like this is where in that moment. You know, the funny thing that set I posted it on Instagram and YouTube. I posted part of it on them, and then I had the full thing on, and I figured nobody follows on my YouTube anyway, and I had several fans first find out that I need another kidney from.
Oh wow.
Really?
Oh wow.
Wow.
There's an aunt that I haven't spoken to in a while that reached out to me. Like, it was kind of crazy.
Well, that's good. I mean,
A lot of
is that easier to tell people that way, or like let them find out? Like,
yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
yeah.
It is.
Did anyone offer you a
That way.
kidney?
No, but
Yeah.
You can have one. You can
at
have
least they
mine, brother,
reached
if you
out.
need it. You know that. I'll go and get tested
Good.
tomorrow. You
I
said,
think
yeah.
my sister, you know, I not to go down this, but like I had to make the call with the kidney to like set the transplant into motion
Yeah.
at my last doctor's appointment. To me, he's like, "This is your homework," and it took me like almost 2 months to make that call. I just made it last week.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Like it was just sitting on my desk and it was
Yeah.
heavy because I feel like it's like once I make this, like then the wheels are in motion, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I finally made it this week, and I'm seeing my doctor tomorrow. Yeah, it's been weird. But that set was really, it felt really good and
Yeah,
cathartic, I guess
I mean,
is the
you
word.
gave the audience an option. You're like, should I just do my jokes or should I like talk about what's real? And somebody loudly
Yeah.
was in support of you. He's like, keep it real. And it's like, I feel like that
Isn't
room
that
is
fun
it's
when
like
you
a
do
really
that?
like, yeah. And I feel like that room, that's, that it's nice to feel like, yeah, people want that more than they want
I think so.
just some,
They want
Feels
that.
like
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Feels like in that room, if that does what it feels like. It feels like some of the more just like the regular jokes were not as may not be the.
It's nice to break it
yeah,
up, but
nice
it's
to
like
break
it gets
up.
a little too much. All right, with the
Yeah.
jokes. Like, let me hear you say something honest for a
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're
By
gonna.
the way, the next time I go there, Ricky,
Yep.
I'm doing straight jokes.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Fine. That's fine.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm gonna show people I am funny.
Yeah, no, that's the smart move. You don't want to be the sad sack. Oh, here comes this guy again.
Right.
I want this to be me, you know.
But I wonder
Yeah.
also,
I
Brendan,
want to blend
if you
together.
if you do a set like that, if you're able to get one or two jokes, actual jokes, then out of that you could actually put in your act, I think that would still be a successful venture. Even if you never do that story
Yes.
again, if you get an idea or a premise that emerges from like, what was funny about that thing is this, take that and then turn that into a bit. I guess that's that's a worthwhile venture as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so the thing we were saying just before.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead, Brett.
I don't know if I'll ever tell that story again, though. You know.
Yeah.
Now that I think
We
about it.
got an exclusive.
Well,
Is what you're saying.
the thing we were saying before is Ryan was saying he's not sure if everyone wants to be recorded, and so if Ryan wasn't recording, let's say that, or you forgot to set up your recording, or which there's something, if you didn't record it, then that would just be gone forever. But because we're just have it, at least a comedian's always going to wish they had it versus not use it. You know what I mean? They're always going to wish that they had it and not used it. So,
Yeah, the fact that Ryan records it and not only records it well,
yeah,
which is a big thing, and it looks like that's huge.
Yeah, I was happy
So
to
it
do
made
it.
me because I was if Ryan was recording that night, I don't know if I would have done that.
Oh, that's great. It makes me happy.
Because yeah, well, this is something.
Well, we
worth-
talked a little bit, privately about like kind of documenting this process for you, and I'm still into it. I don't, I feel like I
I
don't
am
want to push
too.
you into doing anything you want to do, but if
No,
ever
no,
you
no,
if ever you
push
want
me, Ryan, I need to be pushed.
to, okay. And I feel like that set. I was watching that set. I'm like, this would be kind of a great intro. Not maybe the whole thing, but this would be a great thing to be able to pull clips from throughout this little
Yeah.
this little documentary
That's
that
true.
we'd have.
That's
be like
true.
Kind of in real time. So.
well, listen, you're going to be back. We're on the next show on
As a real
April
joke man.
25th, but you're going to be doing some jokes, but but still
I'm gonna
thoughtful.
do some jokes.
But still thoughtful nonetheless. The jokes are
Always,
thoughtful
you can't
and things like that.
you can't separate Brendan Ryan and thoughtfulness.
Yeah, and I know that, and I know that
Thank you.
we're going to talk to Pat, at a later date about he did a set in terms of similar in terms of a deviation from his normal joke style about our friend James, who's no
Yeah,
longer
a
with
joke
us.
about him stealing, but he's definitely, it felt inspired by like, oh, I would like to do
Yeah.
something like that too. That's a place I can do that, and so I would love it if it became a regular thing, but maybe not every comic did that.
No, yeah,
but like
right.
once a show, be like this comic who we're known for doing jokes. This is going to be them doing something a little bit different.
And
Really,
go ahead, Brandon.
it felt nice to watch that. I don't know how it felt. I wasn't there that night, but I was texted me that night and told me about it, and I watched it. That first he sent me the voice recording of it, and I was blown. It was just like I said, different side of Pat, and I love to see comics. Their different side, you know.
Oh, it was a wonderful set. It was really, it was like, there's been a few times like, I feel like we've been doing this for years, but this last 2 shows, there's been a few moments where it really felt like something special was happening in the room with that thing. I thought his set was quite wonderful in that regard. And, he's a natural storyteller. So I hope that he starts, I haven't seen his actual set in a while, but I would think that if there's more stories to be told in his act, I think that's a really way to go, if anything like that.
100%.
Yeah. I say that as somebody who he stole a job out from under me, and I still
he didn't steal a job.
I had a job. I had a job on your show. I no longer have that job, and he has that job. So what does that mean? What does that mean?
It was a job you didn't want.
Well, listen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Listen, if Pat starts producing the podcast for Conway the Machine, we'll have bigger problems.
Yeah, that is.
Then
or this. Imagine he starts producing this.
Then let's not count it out. We don't know. Let's see how this goes. And then I think that'll be good. So we'll see at the next show, April.
Yeah,
April
I can't wait. I'm looking forward.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Cut to Brendan canceling.
All the love goes to you, Ricky. I mean, you set this up, and you're. Anything that you put Pat into, it seems like it's a complete success. I don't know what you do, but you had that amazing show at
the Magic Tech.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. I'll take a lot of credit for the curation. I think sometimes it's just a little bit of advertising goes a long way. I think I will say that. So it does.
Yeah, no, but it's you.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
There's advertising.
Thanks, buddy.
You curated in a special way.
Thanks for jumping on with us so quickly. Apologies again to
Brendan.
Pat for the confusion. We'll have him on in a little bit.
Yeah,
thanks, buddy.
I'm glad I could fill in for Pat. By the way, this is the second offered a spot for Pat. Apparently, Pat was on the show tonight. He didn't want to go to, and I got offered. I'm glad I took you up on this one.
Wow. Well, you don't have to leave the couch. So that
We're
helps.
probably paying the same amount as well. So I think that's okay.
Yeah. That's true.
All right, buddy.
Anyway,
Thank you so
I missed
much.
you guys, and I
Miss you
can't wait
too.
to hang again.
We'll see
My
you soon.
favorite people
Brody.
on the planet. Okay, bye.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Did you have any questions, C-Rxch? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
he's
off.
gone. It's
before.
too late.
He's gone. It's okay. That was very nice. Very
Yeah, that
good.
was.
Thank you for pulling that together, Ryan, so quickly. Sorry for the confusion on my end. Let's talk about your set. What did you think about your set? Because I don't think I twisted your arm to get up there, but I did.
No, I'm always looking to get back into stand up.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
I don't know if C-Rxch knows this. So when my first show that I did, I did open mics, but my first show that I was booked for to do, Ryan was the headliner of that show.
Oh wow.
Stand up comedy. So that's how we met. And then kept in touch after that. He was very, very kind to me at a time when he didn't necessarily have to be. So
Rick was great. Ricky was on right before me, and he had a great set, and he had some family there, and I feel like, I was like, oh, wow, who's this guy? And
Yes.
I didn't know he was so new because I was working the clubs at the time. I wouldn't do a lot of these bar shows.
Yes.
I was, so I'm kidding. I like bar shows. They're great.
That's true though. But
But it was true. I just wasn't really hitting the bar shows that way.
You were a headliner doing that.
Stephen was nice enough to reach out and ask me to headline that show, and then I started my set by complimenting you. That's a cheat for any comics.
Yes.
If you feel like a comic,
Which is what I thought it was at the time. I was just
if
like,
a comic if a comic
yes.
crushes, you got to go up and be like, how about that guy? That guy was great, and then that automatically buys you favor. Be like, oh, he thought he was great too. Then okay,
Yeah.
we like this guy too.
I think you could probably say it even if it's a comic before he does badly. If you know that there.
I
was-
would not. I
yeah.
could not possibly
Oh,
do.
okay,
I could
okay.
never bring myself.
But I didn't
to
know that,
compliment
so
somebody.
I took it as that. I was like,
No,
oh,
but I
he
genuinely-
would have said that to whoever.
I
was
wouldn't.
up
I
before.
would never.
Later,
say
I
that to
learned that
somebody.
you were being genuine in your
Yeah, I
compliment.
was. So
that
I wrote him a
kind.
nice message, told him how much I thought he was funny, and
Yes. And he's been very complimentary. And then God, who knows if I would have even continued if he wouldn't have been so encouraging. So I mean, I'm serious. I mean, who knows if to see the person who is headlining the show to be so kind after the fact of your set, it meant a lot. So that's that. God knows.
It does, and I feel like I once got a very complimentary email after a high-profile show that I did in the city for a guy that booked some shows, and I feel like that complimentary email was why I quit, because I was like, oh, that's all I ever wanted. I just wanted to know that people that I respect think that I can do it. I just want to know I could do it. Now that I know I can do it, I don't actually want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of was like the beginning of my I'm not really interested in doing this anymore.
Yeah.
But I stopped doing comedy for a while. So I've dipped in and out and whatever. So I've done open mics here and there and threatened, I'm going to start again. So when this came up, I was like, oh, it's a great space to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm always writing new jokes in my head, and less so. I was talking to Monique earlier about it's harder now in the world for me to write new jokes, because comics spend a lot of their time thinking about jokes. So I don't know if you're the same way. Like, you just go through life and you're like, is that funny? Is that funny? Is that funny? Like, this could be a bit. Could that be a bit?
I go through highs, like more on than off sometimes in terms of.
And I think I attribute my low to that is with the state of the world. Again, I don't want to get political on this show, but I am a politically minded person. I feel empathy for things that are happening in the world and people that feel disenfranchised, and I spend a lot of my time worried about that. Yeah. And I think, like, am I a good person? Or my people that I'm moving with good people? And it's hard to feel like, is everything, is that funny? Is that funny? When I'm worried about, like, is this right? Is that right? Is this just? Is that, like, and that just takes up more of my time. So I'm thinking, like, my downtime from comedy is spent, like, I'm more worried about being a good person and helping the world than I am being, like, getting, know, like, it was a really pleasant time in life where I didn't have to worry about that stuff. We lived in a world that, where you can kind of just let that, it seemed like the world was on autopilot and you didn't have to worry about it as much, and you could free yourself up to think about things that might be humorous to take to the stage.
Yeah,
I don't, so I look forward to a world that I don't have to worry about that as much, and maybe that's the world where I really enter comedy again, where it's, like, more present in my life. So
you get the beats again, C-Rxch.
Oh, yeah. No, it's pod you up, another industry term. Pod you up.
Well, I thought your set was really fun.
So like I said, even with that, it's not like no downtime where every day is like I'm stressed out. So there's still jokes that come up, but they're heavier jokes, and they're more like personal, and I deal a lot about with, like, weight gain and stuff. So there's a lot of topics and heavier topics, and I have some more. I think I'm interested. I don't know about doing this next show, maybe, but I'd like to maybe, like, every other show drop a set in, but I have like another bit that I told you about a while back that I want to do. That's, like, a little more submersive and, like, a little bit weirder, like, kind of a thing where. It seems like a good place to try something like that out.
I loved having you. It was really fun.
It was great. I feel like my set, I was nervous, and I wasn't expecting to be nervous because I feel like I've done this long enough. But I feel like I posted a clip from my set, and in it I wrote that I get. Sometimes there's, like, a wave of nerves before you hit the stage. Yeah. And I feel like my set sometimes depends on, like, how confident do I feel before I'm heading up. Yeah. And if I'm feeling confident, I can hit the stage and feel like I got this, I've been hit before. Yeah. But if I feel like doubtful, like, this stuff's not funny. Like, why would I think this is funny?
I think you went up and you did a reference to something that happened. What did you say before? Like, you referenced, the chairs in the front or something. Yeah. Which was not what you had planned on doing. And is that because you're more nervous or more confident?
It was a joke I used to do when I was doing stand-up. And sometimes you go to a comedy club and the front would be empty.
That's right.
And I would do a Rosa Parks joke about that, about the bus front, about the front of the bus being empty, about But I knew the beats to that joke when I did it. And as soon as I started doing it, I go, I don't remember what this joke was.
Right.
I'm doing this joke, but I'm like something about Rosa Parks and black people when I was a kid in buses, and I was like, I'm butchering it.
Lost confidence.
So already I wasn't that confident, and my first thing I did was, like, you might remember me from being in the way.
That was very funny.
That was the first thing I said.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I should have just wrote that. because I felt good about that.
Right.
And then got into my material. As soon as I did the Rosa Parks thing, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I don't. I forget what there used to be a joke here, and I don't remember what it was.
I know.
And now I'm just talking my way through it.
I'm not gonna lie, I got a good laugh out of that one.
Okay, good. But I'm like, there is some truth to that. It's like, like cool kids in the back of the bus.
Oh,
It's like
there was a bit there, but you could see in real time you being like in your head doing exactly what you just said, where you're just like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah,
What am I doing?
I'm like, this used to be really funny. This used to kill if the front row was empty. But
sometimes in comedy, it's like there's like moves to it, and you do it often enough that like you can kind of do it autopilot a little bit, but then there's times in which you think you could do it autopilot, and like you just like, wait a minute, and you almost like think about it too much, and you go, wait, what am I doing? Where is this? Like almost like when you're dancing, you're like, what am I doing with my feet? Why does this go
as
this
soon as
way?
you start thinking about it,
And then you're over. Or like, I guess to somebody if they're juggling or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Like,
It's got to be a little bit.
it's got to be a little bit of not thinking about it.
My
at
trick
all.
to comedy was always like I never wrote anything down. Like my first few acts,
Sure.
I did, but I was always like idea, work it out, find the beats of it, and then just don't perform it too much.
Right.
Kind of know what's funny
You would have
about
a
it,
word
and then just say it. And then, but there was definitely certain beats when you got to the punchline. Okay, you have to say it like this.
Yeah.
So it was always like I never want to be too scripted. So that was always like I like to be like
It's one of the
I like to be
reasons-
the guy at the party who's currently just talking to everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
It's
want to
one
be
of the
there.
reasons I was struggling so much, as we mentioned in my stuff, because I was trying to be so word perfect, which is not what I normally do.
Yeah.
So when I would miss like a word, or if I said a different length than I wanted to say it, I was just completely derailed with
Yeah.
every line. So that was one of the reasons. But it was great to have you up there. Man.
Yeah, at the end, I definitely didn't feel great about it because I wanted, like, my expectations were higher. But like, watching back, I was like, okay, and I enjoyed the clip that I posted out of it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
So Dustin Schneider went next. We don't have to. I don't think we just have to play because I think we've been gone. We're going a little long
Okay.
already. We already, and that's available. I think that you didn't post it, but somebody else had posted it. It's on the. I think it's not collaborated on there, but it is on our Instagram. Somebody tagged it.
Okay.
And he did 2 songs. I think he's Big Hearted Boy, I think is his moniker. He's going to come back and perform on April 25th. So he did 2 originals, which I thought were pretty.
Yeah, he said. I think I said to him when recording, I said, this guy seems like a ringer.
Yeah.
Like he just came in and was like, oh, this guy is not.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if since he didn't contact us to share anything, I'm not sure if he wants us to talk about this.
Great. Yeah.
We'll withhold that. We'll hold that for now, maybe
Okay.
next week. But I would definitely, if anything to come out, he really gets on the guitar and he plays and he wails and he's singing and he's got these really heartfelt lyrics. It feels like something very personal to him when he sings. It feels like he's really exploring something when he's singing. It feels like there's a nerve there that is really nice. I don't know what his background is. I'm not sure if he's played in bands because it seems like it's kind of a solo thing. I don't really know what his background is. If maybe he's played in a band that I know that I just don't know that he was in, like a big band of some kind. Don't know, but
I love a solo artist performing under a name.
Yeah.
Like not their name. Like good. What's an example of this?
A lot of alternative rock.
Bright Eyes.
There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of alternative rock kind of things where you think it's a band and it's just kind of one guy doing a.
Yeah, well, Iron and Wine used to be the way. I don't know if Iron and Wine.
Yeah.
And it was just him, but then he eventually became a full band that just still performs as Iron and Wine. Yeah.
Yes. I think the guy from the Wonder Years did a similar thing where he created another alternate ego.
Right. I love that.
So it's really fun. But he was really quite excellent. He's going to be there again. And it was actually kind of a nice transition from him to the Pat Dunn set, who was, and I thought Pat was going to do more of his traditional jokes, which is very funny, but it would have been, I kind of did it because it would be kind of that. But he ended up kind of continuing on from kind of the vibe of kind of this like very thoughtful, kind of a burly dude with a beard kind of expressing themselves in a very sensitive manner. It kind of rolled right in, kind of synergy rolled right into one another. And he gave kind of his set, and it was really quite wonderful. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. Kind of a natural storyteller, so I enjoyed that quite a bit. We touched on that with Ryan. We'll have him on to chat about that a little more. So Luna Sage was next. There was another person performing with Luna. I don't know what their name was. Forgive me. I didn't know it was a duo. They kind of came up together and they did, I believe, 2 covers is what it was. It was
emo covers,
2 emo covers, songs that I knew but couldn't totally place. When they started singing it, I was like, "That's right, I know that." But they were doing some harmonies, which were really
performed the hell out of it.
I didn't really know
Yeah.
what to expect, and then it was kind of one would play and was singing, and then the other one was kind of just hanging out, and then the harmonies came in, and you could tell that they've done it quite a bit. I think Luna said that I forget which one, but they were in a bunch of different bands in the past. I don't know what bands they were in, but definitely performers and came ready to play. So again, not people that I had met before, kind of showed up and were ready to go off with nothing expected. And they really
that was great. That's not my type of music. I never really liked that type of music. Not even like, it just never really entered my life.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch them perform it.
Yeah.
I like watching anybody perform anything passionately. So
Yeah.
It's like they definitely had passion for it.
And so there was a video of them that went up that they tagged me in, or the And Then Some show page. Not one of your videos. I think someone else took it. And they got quite a lot of feedback on their video of people just being like, this is amazing, like, good for you, like, can't wait to see you again. So I don't know if they have a following or if these are just really supportive friends.
That was. I want to stop real quick. I really enjoyed that last one. Like, I mean, all of them, but that one.
You want to hit it? You hit it
I'll
back?
play it
You
from
hit
back?
again?
Yeah, just back a little bit. I feel like that was like.
Like when you played before, I wanted to get, but at the time it's back.
I wanted to say the body of work this guy's got. I mean, he's just been rolling out. I mean, we've been talking for
We're talking over
3 hours now, and this guy has a steady stream of beats that he's been playing of his own.
Talking over gold.
Oh, I have another version of that if I could find it.
That felt like almost like I can almost hear Anita Baker singing over that one.
Well, don't give away the sample. We don't know.
Oh, was that? No.
It was a sampled beat, but I'm not gonna say too much on it.
Yeah.
This is a
exclusive.
more exclusives.
I might.
Is it? Would this would have been something you played at the mic I saw you at? Or is this new?
Much newer.
Much newer. Okay.
I'd just say I'm on. Yeah, that's great. Right? Couldn't you see Anita Baker singing on this?
Absolutely.
And not directly related, but I'm opening a coffee shop, and I want to have pastries there. So I do. I need a baker.
Yeah.
If anybody knows
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
I
I was excited you were actually opening a coffee shop for a second.
I said my mom and my sister saw Anita Baker, and my sister does not like her.
No.
She says she's a great singer, but she comes off as a diva.
Oh well,
She
yeah,
is a diva.
yeah.
I mean, she's literally a
she's
diva.
Anita Baker for goodness' sake. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
But I mean,
I'd be disappointed if she wasn't a diva, frankly.
I feel like I love Sade. I love Sade so much,
Sade.
right? And I feel like she's getting kind of getting some due these days. She's getting some popularity.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I feel like I have kind of gone back and like now I'm on some Anita Baker stuff now. So
Oh,
you
it's
guys got to
like
catch up to
overrated.
Anita Baker. So I still will always love Sade, but I feel like I had to kind of
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
I need to probably do Anita Baker. I could go back to that and get into that.
It's maybe you got to be in your 40s. Like, I'm in my mid 40s, so maybe that's what it is. But
I would say also too, like the younger generation just stumbles upon like the Anita Bakers, the Sades, even myself, like Luther Vandross, Freddie Jackson.
Oh yeah, but it's just so good. It's like when you hit into it, like especially if you have like the streaming, you put it on shuffle or something,
you can really dive deep. Yeah.
and you just hit it. And you're like, wait, what is this? It's insane. And then you keep going, and you're like, oh, this is because Luther Vandross. Most people know his name, but like if you actually hear his work, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's just listen. And you listen to like 3 songs. You're like, this is the most amazing thing.
Luther Vandross. What's the song?
Which
never
one?
Never
Too much.
Yeah.
So there's a backup singers on that song that sing one song. They sing one word. I've listened to it multiple times. Like they gotta be here. He brought in a group of singers to sing one word on that song as a backup. It's just him, and then at one point they just go hustle. That's it. And there's multiple women. It's like, well, maybe one woman sang it multiple times, but I'm like, the thought of like a producer is like, there's something here. I need this one thing. Bring in the 3 girls and get them to all sing hustle.
Is he still with us, Luther Vandross? Or
No,
he
he
No,
died.
he passed away.
Oh, it's very sad. I'd love to have him on the podcast.
I'm sure.
So that Shelby King
He
came on.
he invented the donut burger sandwich.
Yeah, the actual Luther burger.
Luther burger. You take a hamburger, but the buns are 2 donuts. That was invented.
2 glazed
That
donuts.
was 2 glazed donuts invented by Luther Vandross, which might be why Luther Vandross is
Oh, I see. Not even like you cut the donut down the middle.
You could do that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that would have been.
No, they mush together so easily. Why bother?
Oh my! That's ridiculous.
I'll be shocked if all these 3 cameras are still recording. It doesn't matter. We have a backup. We have redundancy. We have redundancies.
Oh, good.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm glad we hope we get that part at least. Luna Sage, and then Shelby King came on, did poetry. She was there again. Never met Shelby before. Came on, did some poetry, and it was quite wonderful. Charlton John, who had been at the first show. Charlton John, a very good comedian, is kind of a one-liner guy. Does single jokes. I saw him headline a show that I did, and he did, I believe it was like 100. He was doing like a headlining set on. It was a showcase show, but he did maybe like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and he
went last and did a little more time. Yeah.
He did 120. Like he said up top, he's like, I'm going to now do 100 and whatever jokes.
Wow.
And he just has like an index card with just all the jokes written on it.
Yeah.
And I, he's a nice guy, so we chat, especially when I was doing the one-liners, and I was asking him his, and I was like, I don't know how you. I literally just don't even know how you remember it, because most of my jokes are like a slightly narrative to a sense where it has kind of like things can follow one another, so I kind of know what happens next. I don't know. I don't know how he does it. I mean,
was he on the one-liner thing at the Bell House?
He was not, but he's done that previously.
Oh,
he told me he had done it previously.
It seemed like he was working up towards that because he went up and said,
"No, that's his act.
That's what he does."
Yeah, that's what he does.
He mentioned that.
Yeah. That's just how he does his act. So it's. I think he has a special or an album.
Yeah, he does. I think it was filmed at like the Alibi or something.
Yeah, so it came out a few years ago, but it's definitely worth checking out. But he's great. But he's also he's a big reader, so he loves. So he's always he bought.
Looks like we got ourselves a reader.
He got many books. Many books there. I can't.
Right? Bill Hicks. It's a Bill Hicks figure.
Can't say I'm familiar with it. I know who
with
he
Bill
is.
Hicks?
No, I must say I'm not familiar.
So he was at a Waffle House in the middle of the country somewhere, and he was reading a book, and the waitress came over and she goes, "What you reading for?" And he goes, "Well, I guess so I don't end up as a waitress at a Waffle House." And he said the guy behind him looks over and goes, "Well, looks like we got ourselves a reader." And he goes, "Where am I?"
That's a funny.
It's like you're in the middle of the country. Oh, he's great.
That's a funny bit.
Yeah,
I gotta listen to him this week. And then Danny Zaglin was on, who had came to the show. He was on the first show.
He closed it out, right?
He closed it out. He was there. He hung out all night. And
nice
and
guy.
I asked him when it says time. A guy who I saw, he works out, literally works out. He's very into fitness, but also he's hitting the mics. I always see him post about it on Instagram, and I see, again, he's a guy who I'll see a joke start at A, and I'll see it go all the way, to a finished product. And he had a really tight set the first time where he hit boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you want to play that clip from his first?
Yeah, let's play it.
That
we posted up. Yeah,
short bit.
It's a great joke.
Yeah.
Realize that people tried to tell me that the music I like to work out to is now considered divorced dad rock. I just gotta say, that's given a whole new meaning to my workouts. Now every time I lay down on the bench press, I'm just thinking about a family I haven't lost yet. Just like, can you take it all away? Don't get me wrong, though. When I'm doing cardio, I'm blasting that divorced mom rock, I'm on the elliptical. I'm like, I'm a bitch.
It's a great joke, and it's like you have to be so confident in the joke to do the singing and the act out.
Yeah,
and so that he's been like working that. And because you have to commit, otherwise it's not going to work.
I love a comic who's not afraid to do an act out.
Yeah, and so that like he's been working that out, so that way it's kind of he knows all the moves. It's kind of like we were saying before. He knows all the moves.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be.
No, I'm a fan of his. Yeah.
He's
really dope.
A good guy and a very funny comic. Posted by far on that show. He posted a picture of me like on his Instagram story just to be nice. And I think I look like I'm literally like redder than like the cup you have there. Yeah. And I was like, it was maybe one of the worst pictures I've ever seen taken of me. But it was very kind that he was being supportive and posting me in the first place. So that was it. And he closed it out, and it was really a really good show. I mean, it's a 2. I think we kept it at what 2. You would know because I think the recording. I don't know how long it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was just over 2 hours.
2 hours.
Do you have any plans to tighten it?
I'd like to. I planned on shortening the last one, the spots down, and then a lot of people came to sign up. So I think what I have now at this point is I have it to where it's going to be less spots, keep the same time, leave a little more room for people to sign up day of than I did last time, which was very minimal, and then it should be like at least maybe 5 spots shorter. Is my hope because I'd like
that
to,
would be. I think that's perfect. I think
it's
it's a sweet spot. It's figuring it out. It's good to be able to turn people away. Like, hopefully there's more of these, and it'll generate I'll make sure, you want to go to the place that there's a line at the door for.
I know.
And it's
I know.
if there's people that's we actually don't have any openings for the next couple months. Yeah. People are like, oh, I want to get on that show. People are signing up for that. So there's nothing wrong with turning people away.
Yeah. And we're having some repeat folks, but most of the folks that are repeat are people that stayed for the entire show and hung out, which is part of the, why I have it set up that way.
You could have a thing where it's no 2 in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna. I think I may, because I think this is the third one. I think I'll cap it at 3. If you've done 3, I'm gonna.
That's fine. Yeah.
And just kind of, and I think, but by the way, unless I don't fill the spots, then you can
sure
go up. So, but I mean, I think we've been good enough where people have been.
Especially if you're gonna leave some spots open for day of sign up, because
which I think I must do to be incentivize people. Because I think I want people to show up off the street a little bit.
That's a great idea.
So I think that's good. Yeah, but that was the show. So again, April 25th is the next show. We're pretty excited about it. I think we have a good set of comics. We got a good set of a couple musicians. I do a little bit of soliciting with some of the musicians and kind of on Instagram, and I'll see people that are posting. They do shows with this other person, and I'll try to reach out to them and see if put it on their radar, see if they're interested. So I've got a couple of people that are interested, some talented folks. So it's worth checking out. C-Rxch will be there. Ryan will be there. Maybe performing, maybe not. We'll find out. I'll be doing something a little bit. I have some stuff that I'd like to try out. Maybe a little bit more of a narrative story. We'll see. Maybe I have one little story that I want to try to work out a little bit, but we'll see how it goes.
Great. I look forward to that.
But this has been fun. So I think maybe we'll come back next month. We'll do a little bit. I think today was a little bit longer to kind of set everything up and to kind of get our bearings.
I think we said a lot we wanted to say that we don't need to say again next time.
I think that's
so.
Right.
They will be shorter.
I think that's right. And we can, give an opportunity if we want to have folks in or to interview people to kind of catch up or to give them a little bit more of a platform or something like that. I think that'd be kind of fun. And then maybe we'll try to catch some stuff at the show. Maybe we'll try to grab some.
That'd be great. Like an exit interview type thing.
Yeah, maybe we'll try and do that a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can
try to narrow these down.
Hire somebody, a trusted friend who might be good at that to kind of hang out by the back and
catch
offer
audios. Yeah, we'll talk about that. All right, but I think that's good. C-Rxch, any final words for the folks? Do you want to tell them about the Bandcamp again? Get that out there.
All right, so for my beat tape Rich instrumentals, all you gotta do is just, if you follow me on Instagram, it's C_RXCH the Beatsmith. All one word. Click the link in my bio, the Bandcamp link, and it'll go straight to my beat tape Rich instrumentals. It's out right now. You can like it, share, listen, buy it. Really appreciate it. Working on volume 2. Hopefully it'll be released before the summer ends. But the support matters, and I'm just very grateful for Ryan and Ricky for having me over for today's show.
Good to
have you. Thank you so much. It was a great bed. I mean, I enjoyed it.
I loved it. I'm a big fan, and I appreciate you, and I love having you. But this is not to say if other beat makers do want to come to the show, we can have them as well.
And if you're an MC,
please
come to the show.
Rappers,
I mean, you don't have to rat. If you got your own beats, we can play your beats.
Yeah, or you could have a little set as well. That's all good.
Right through the machine. We probably got the ability to,
of course,
hardwire.
Oh yeah.
If you got it on your phone,
you got to aux it out. Yeah, for
it in. If you want to got your a full song you want to perform, I would love that.
I think that'll be good. All right, and then some showcase. C-Rxch, you want to play us out?
Yeah.
Or do you have anything else, Ryan, for it?
No.
All right, play us out, baby. Ooh. And then some showcase post show.